Hey Floss Tube, it's Kerry in Stitches. This is Floss Tube 106, and this is Friday, the 8th of October. We'll just go with it. It's all round the wrong way, but never mind. Hello and welcome. I hope you all had a great stitchy fortnight and are keeping well. The light is going, the nights are drawing in. I'm running very behind today. I've had coffee with my friend this morning and I was already running late this morning because I didn't have a very good night's sleep, the cough. So, you know, you have those days where everything, you really just kind of chase your tail. It's one of those. So, coffee and cross stitch is what we're going to do. So, what was happening? We had lunch with a friend a couple of weeks ago, which was lovely. Lottie caught up with her primary school bestie, and who goes to a different school now. And they both, you know, we did a bit of shopping and I bought some frames for FFOing. Yeah, that was really, really lovely to do that. I wasn't feeling great. That was the day after I filmed and I was still feeling really quite ropey. So I did take, I did COVID test and I was negative. So just in case anybody wondered, it was just a seasonal cough and cold. Still sniffly now, so. What have we been doing? So buying lots of frames. I think I brought, so 1, 2, 3, I brought 4, 6 frames. Not bad going. So I'll be able to show you later what I did with those. I think it's somewhere around 15 FFOs I've done out of from my last week's video. So yeah, I'm really, really pleased with my progress, and I will show you how I got on. Got the fluff stuck in the beginning there. We had parents' evening at the school. It was just kind of meet the tutor and just kind of how they settled in the first few weeks, and really well apparently, so that's really good news for Lottie. She's joining all the clubs and she's such a busy bee. I went to Newcastle upon Tyne with work for the day. It's a long way, it's about 500, so it's just over a 500-mile round trip to do a scene visit, which was really interesting to see how the consultants do their scene visits, and just to kind of understand another facet of the thing. I do the administration, it's kind of, you know, I don't do any of the technical stuff, so that was really interesting to be able to go and see what they do. So I enjoyed that, and I'm hoping to go on more, even though I've been with the company 9.5 years and this is the first one I've done, but it's great. I can write numbers down. So basically I stood there with a clipboard, just keep making notes for them. It's fun, that's perfectly within my wheelhouse. Yeah, I had coffee with another friend this morning, which has left me running really behind with stuff, but hey ho, let's just roll with it. So I've got FOs, FFOs, whips, plans, haul, giveaway winners. It's gonna be a packed episode. I hope you've got coffee and some stitching. Tell me what you're stitching. If you're stitching along with me, tell me what you're stitching in the box below. I've been having a pretty good catch up with Floss Tube. I'm only like, I think 2 or 3 days behind at the moment, which is fantastic. Hoping to watch a bit more this weekend. Well, it's a F1 weekend, so you know it's going to have to be a good Floss Tube to compete. Right, let's jump in with. Trouble is, some of the things that I've finished are now I've FFO'd as well. So, okay, let's start. Let's try and get some. Okay, let's do a couple. Okay, I've got a plan. I've got a plan, but obviously I haven't made a very good plan with the plan. Okay, so my first FO is the December stocking from the Blackbird Designs stocking books. In fact, I possibly may have finished. I'm not sure if you saw September's or not. Anyway, so stitch might be in the call for, might not be. It's kind of it's similar. Let's go with that. So I really love this little one. It's super cute, and was a lovely quick stitch. It wasn't until I stitched the whole tree I realised I did it in the wrong colour, and I did have the correct colour, and I was just kind of like, I like it, and went with it. Apple fritter, which seems to be the colour that's in everything at the moment, and probably Hick sticks for the deer. I forget what the green actually was. Oh, pea pod, which was the called for that tree, I think. So it's fine, it's good. I'm super happy. So I now have, so there's the other one I've stitched. I think I showed you that one. Computer's waking up, and that's where I am with the October one. So I can't remember if you saw these or not. Yes, I think I looked at my stitching notes and you did. Did you see the September one? You get to see the September one. There you go. So there's the September one. So I can't remember if I'd finished that one or not. I love that one. It's one of my favourites. And I just kind of made the colours up with that one as well. Okay, so that's that out of the way. So in my 500-mile round trip to Newcastle, you're asking, did you stitch, Kerry? Did you? Why? Yes, I did. What did you stitch on? I started the December block. You must have had a lot of stitching time. I did. How much did you get done? 10 stitches. Yeah, I was in the car. I can stitch in the car, it doesn't bother me. But I remembered that I wasn't really fond of this fabric. It's really quite a tight weave on it. It's an opalescent and it was being a pain. Opalescents aren't the best for car stitching, I don't think. So yes, I have a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 full crosses and 3 half stitches. Sad, sad state of affairs. But hey ho, it's a start. It'll get done. I'm ahead of the game. I finished the December block, so I can now say the Lizzie Kate Flippets, my second oldest whip, are finished. Yay! I feel like there should be like fireworks, not fireworks, like party poppers and stuff going on. Maybe fireworks. There was one point I did not think I'd ever get these done. So there we go. I've even sewn the buttons on already. So I started that yesterday to FFO it. I haven't left myself much room to FFO it, but you know, we'll go with it. Completely my own. Oh, words, Kerry. What's it called? Conversion. Jodyri Designs. The reds are Jodyri Designs. I can't remember what one. And I think the whitey colour there is one. So is the green. And the 2 blues, I want to say, are hand dyed by Rylander threads. So, flippets are done. Woohoo! Oldest whip off the thing. That was a zombie run piece completed as well. Check that back over there. I can't see where the FFO box has gone. There was so much stuff on the table, it's ridiculous. I stitched a bit on Cardinal Points. So Cardinal Points by Long Dog Samplers with this wonderful, wonderful colour palette, which is just amazing. That's all the call for colours. I've seen people do it in DMC, and it looks just as good. Because I wouldn't say these are the most variegated. There's a couple that are like really quite variegated, but you know, on the whole, yeah. Frog's Legs is one of the variegated ones. You can see that it's very yellow to green, although some people don't like that. Black isn't. The golds peak that aren't generally. That green's not too bad. It's kind of light to dark. Doesn't really show up. They're very subtle variation. Morning Glory's got a little bit more. One of them has, and I can't see. Ah, there it is. Pink Azalea, actually, and Sugar Plum. So those two both got pretty good variegation, as you can see from the sort of the twist in it there. So definitely those are really good. But you use it in small quantities, and I don't. It doesn't matter. I'm happy with it. So Cardinal Points. There we go. Lovely, lovely. I'm stitching on page 2. I've completed pages 1 and 4. So I'm going to move my coffee so I don't end up with tea coffee dyed Cardinal Points, because that would be sad. So that's where I'm at. I was gifted the chart by from Christine Stitch All the Things, along with the project bag it lives in. I was gifted the fabric by Sharon. The needle minder, I believe, is a Gina's Unique Boutique one, and that was from Christine too. It's probably got my card. Oh yeah, it's got my zombie one on. So that's where we're at. So that's page 1 and page 4, and they are finished apart from me doing the writing in there. I did change the dog. I'm changing the dogs to be dogs that we've had over the years. So that is actually, that's just a plain black one. That's my mum's current spaniel. That's Samuel Spaniel. And what I've done since you last saw it is I've basically done all the leaves here in the pot and made a start on the flower, which will mirror that one. So to finish, that's pretty much the middle of it. Well, actually, if I do that, I think that's about the middle of that page, something like that. So I've got the cardinal to go there. There's a couple of little flowery doodads, another dog, and then the words carry on. And then that will be page 2 finished, which is my goal for this year. Because that means if I've managed to complete page 2, well, theoretically I need to be 700 stitches over page 2. That means I'll have stitched half of it in a year, which I think is amazing. So, being the fact that I know that Daily 30 is planning a yearly for next year, I'm sure this will feature. Because it's been a really good way of just keeping progress going on it. Excuse me. Oh, yeah. Beautiful Christine. Right, what else? So, with my finish of the flippets and my finish on a Tannenbaum, that meant that I needed 2 new zombie run pieces. So I put in 2 Blackbird stockings. So the September one, October one that you saw the 4 leaves done, that's one of them. And I've also put in the March stocking, which would then mean if I get those 2 finished this year, sorry, I'm jigging the camera a bit, that would mean that I would have January, February, March, April done, and then September through to December, which I think is a really kind of good chunk of it done. Which would mean I only obviously have May, June, July, or 4 to do, which would be perfect for next year. I mean, obviously there are still other stockings in the books, but as long as I can stitch one out of every book, I'll be happy. So one other piece that I replaced them with was the MLK sampler, because it's actually now heading to be one of my oldest whips. So since you last saw it, this has also now become a travel piece too, because it's one of my only whips left on Ada. I've stitched that, I think, and then I did that bit yesterday in the dentist. So it's okay. So I know it doesn't sound much, but my commute to work is 15 minutes each way. So, so I can get about 20 stitches each time, just because I'm travelling on a bus and it doesn't always, it's not the smoothest of rides, but, MLK sampler. By Stone Street Stitchworks, that's on PTP Pewter in my own colourway, and that's what it looks like. So I'm making good progress. I'm pretty much finished. As soon as I've done that flower and that flower, that's the page break for page 1. So this will be done by the end of the year. This is my zombie piece. I'm 800 stitches on it this month. Blackwork Lady is having at least 800 on her too. So that's my plan. Possibly I might drop that down to 4. I don't know. But those 2 pieces are now my big focus pieces, because let me have a quick look at my to-do list. Not to-do list. What am I talking about? My whip list. So yeah, fairly sure. Have a So Blackwork Lady's my oldest. Flippets can go out because they've finished. Then it would be Monkey Wrench. It's my next oldest. Then Cardinal Points by 30 minutes because I started them both on the same day. Purple Vinca, I started last July, so it's just gone over. Well, it's now 15 months old. So I'll show you my progress on that in a minute. And then MLK Sampler is the next one. So I'm really trying to get through some of these, and my plan is only to take forward 4 2020 whips. It's well, we'll see. So Purple Vinca, there we go. So this was gifted to me as a full kit. This is by Dawn, Frosty X Stitch, and it's by Sweetheart Tree. And a lot of it is back stitch, is specialty stitches, so I actually have the chart in front of me and I can tell you what they are. There's some of them I've never heard of. Okay, Okay, so standard back stitch and cross stitches up to here. The white is a Scotch stitch. I loved doing that, and that was one of my favourites. And I'm terrible at kind of satin stitch type things, but you know. And then this one is a 4-corner trip stitch. That was a faff. Looks great though. And then I've gone back into, so I finished those 2 this week because I've had 2 done. And then I am now working on these flowers, little rosette things which are there and there, which are, I don't know if that's going to focus or not. Basically, they are stitched on, it's not very good focus, but they are basically not quarter stitches, but stitched over 1 thread. Well done, Kerry, you got there in the end. So, one thing I do love about Sweet Heartstring Designs is, and I think it's kind of similar to a chatelaine in that it will go, I do have to put the beads on, so even though I'm on step 9, 10, am I on 10 now? No, row, I'm on, out of 12 I'm on row 9, and then I've got a, next row is a diagonal oblique herringbone, which looks a bit like that. And then I have a back stitch line that goes around that because it just forms a diamond in the middle. So essentially that just goes there. And then there's a back stitch line that goes, which is row 11. And then 12 is essentially this motif in a 9 patch. So that is going to be hard work. It's going to be a lot of work. It takes me about 30 minutes to do just one of those. 30 to 40 minutes to do one of those. So I just put that in the wrong one, but it's just stitched in DMC on the kit linen, which I think is platinum. That's why I got platinum, if I remember rightly. And those are the colours. Just put them on some floss drops. So just 2 shades of purple and 2 shades of green and a cream. So really looking forward to getting that finished and framed. That'll be really nice done. It's got beads to go on it. Quite a lot of beads actually. So yeah, there we go, there's the finished design. So it has 4 kind of big beads to go there and there, and then it's got cream, purple and white beads. It's like a Mill Hill kit, you know, it's a bead pack, which I'll have to pop on in various places. So there are, basically the beads are just in the outer border where I'm actually stitching at the moment. So it's kind of just one, and then a couple of bits in the corner. It'll be fun. I love beading, so I'm excited to get that done. Right, so as you'll probably recall, maybe if you know, I've been doing a round robin of Heartstring Samplery next door with my wonderful, wonderful, lovely Daily 30 admins and dearest friends, Sharon and Heather. And so mine's been stateside for quite a while, because it's been to Sharon and it's now been to Heather, and Heather sent it back to me this week. So when I can find it, mine was stitched in the called for on a solo dye linen that I don't know from Sparklies. So here is mine, and I absolutely adore it. How's that? Oh, that's very close to the colour. It's a bit brighter. It really is quite a kind of lovely one. Anyway, there we go. I wish you lived next door. Isn't that wonderful? And I can't wait to get that framed and on my wall, and it will go and live somewhere behind me. So there we go. Absolutely love this. So happy, and thank you to Heather, and they popped their initials on it as well. Heather's in the top corner and Sharon's on the bottom. And I'm actually going to stitch mine on as well, because until I'd sent mine off we hadn't really thought about it. So Heather's is is a Medora, Sharon's is in the orange. So I'm thinking I might pop mine in green up in the top corner there. Yeah, so love, so pleased. Oh, this is wonderful. So thank you to Heather and to Sharon for stitching that. So along with mine coming home to me, I also got to stitch on Heather's, and Heather had done her own conversion into silks, which were pretty much the same colours. So, you know, just with a bit of change here and there. So Heather had stitched the bird and the pomegranate there, so I basically put the rest of the flower and everything in, and and you see my initials in the bottom. So I don't know what the fabric or anything is. It's a Zweigart, I'll tell you that much. I think it's 20 count as well, but loving that. Heather's got lovely, and her silks were an absolute dream to stitch with, and they are all sorts. There's dinky dyes, there's Mo Sale, I don't know what else. So, yeah. So in one of Sarah's bags, not enough whip bags. Let's go with that. I can't remember, and I've lost my to-do list now. There we go. Okay, I am proud of myself. Not enough whip bags without having to look at the card. Wait, yay go me. Sarah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. And now I'm now stitching on Sharon's. Now Sharon has done her own conversion, which is really, really different, and that's her fabric. That's fairly, it's a bit paler, but that's fairly good kind of colour. What's it? So Sharon's is nearly done, as you can see. So I've stitched the pomegranate thing there so far, and I just have the bird to do. So that will be done this weekend. I haven't really felt like a huge amount of stitching lately, so I was hoping to have gotten it done by now. So I don't know what the fabric is either. And Sharon's done a conversion to DMC and to Victorian Motto, and lots of wonderful colours. So it's fun to stitch somebody else's, what's it? There's my flosses for Thingamy-Bob. Okay. Okay, I think I've been through most of it now. So let's put that over there. Plans. Finish next door for Sharon. Embark on my funky menagerie. I'm hoping I'm going to have an awful lot more done than that when you next see it. That's my next, that's my kind of big goal for this month. As I've got some other stuff out of the way, and that's the plan. I can't see my list. Right, oh, so many things on the right. So just looking at the new daily 30 week. So it'll be Black Work Lady. Don't have anything with a ghost. Changed colours. Could use Sharon's for that. Blue and a heart. Well, so stitch with something blue. That shouldn't be too hard. House. Well, I've got hundreds of whips with that. Actually, I haven't really, but that shouldn't be too hard either. So, fairly straightforward. Child's come home from school. So, I am going to pause my video here and say hello to the child, have a bit of a tidy up, and we will go into haul and into all the FFOs. And there are a lot, so it's going to be lots of fun to share with you all the FFOs, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Welcome back, part 2. Not that you noticed the difference, except my chair's moved. Kids. Right, so just to carry on, we're going to do a bit of, I genuinely can't remember if I did plans or not. Funky Menagerie, Finish Next Door, Black Work Lady. We're going to go with those as my plans. Haul. I will do proper flip throughs of these in another video, because this is going to be a long video, trust me. So we've got Cross Stitcher 376. The cover kit was that adorable soldier, and then part 2 of the stitch along. So anything exciting. Advent calendar, Christmas earrings. Oh, how cute is that? Circus train, no, like a Christmas train alphabet. They've got some Christmas decoration collection. I like a couple of them, but they're all really big. So they've got, oh yeah, the colours of autumn, So yeah, so basically, you know, the ornaments there, I do quite like that one. Cheryl McKinnon reminds me of, oh, I forgot the one I stitched last year. We've got the cushion, Santa's cushion, 3D thing. We've got advent calendar, the colours of autumn. So some good stuff in here. Shows you what the finished thing that will look like. So I really am going to stitch that. I love that. So that's definitely needs to be done. So I'll do a flip through that, and you'll see that in the next week or so. And also the Just Cross Stitch Christmas Ornament Edition. Gotta say, not as good as previous some years. I know some people love this one, and I think I found 6 that I really want to stitch. So I will quickly show you those. I really like this one here. Right then, and then we've got, I like that one there. It's cute. I like that green fabric as well. It kind of works really well. The North Pole Supply Company. I like that one. I like these two here. I definitely do that in different colours, but I kind of like the shape of it and stuff. I'd probably do green rather than blue. And then we've got 2 in this one. Oh yeah. So I love the Biscornu stack. That's really cool. I like to make a little tree. And then there's that one there. I really like. So might change the colour fabric, but I would those are my picks from the from the Ornaments edition. Other haul, honestly, nothing exciting. Finishing wax. This is the Rust-Oleum furniture finishing wax, which is what I've used to seal my frames with. Wooden buttons, beads, so I can make some, and I've got loads of smaller ones upstairs. So my plan is to paint a load of these and make some of those nice garlandy things. I want to do ideally I'd like to do 4. I mean, that's not enough, but I'd like to do 4 for the seasons. Maybe 5, so probably 6. You know, a spring, summer, autumn and winter one, and then also do a Christmas one. Half a packet left, but picked up some couple of buttons to do something with industry. And then I had a fantastic parcel from my dear friend Heather. When she sent me the clippets. Heather and Sharon send me bits all the time. They do, and they often have a parcel on the go that they just go, oh yeah, and I'll add that to it. So she sent me some lovely beads. Needle minder from when she went to StitchCon. There's one Heather made, and some charms that she picked up for me. Butterflies. I love the dinosaurs, they're amazing. I love them. Butterflies and sparkly giraffe. And she sent me just some bits and bobs that she picked up. So I've got Sit a Spell, which is a travelling pattern. Some sort of dark blue linen. A couple of charts. I love that. And then actually it's got that one there as well, which I really like. I like it because it's a narrow band one, but also because it's still got something on it, because often so they are just plain numbers, so I really like those two. And then some just ones that are just charts. Oh, heart in hand. Yeah, I can't pick them up. A couple of Prairie Schoolers. The Bent Creek pattern, I said, oh. And then the Sit a Spell, which I shall be stitching and then passing on. So lots of, obviously because I'm short of charts and needed something to do. So, but it was really nice of her to think of me and get me those. These are ones she's picked up at StitchCon. So. And then she's going through her finishes box and she's like, I'm never going to do anything with these. I don't know what to do with them. I'm tempted to throw them out. I'm like, no, you can't do that. So he sent me this one. I sent him this one, I'm up to no good, which is just brown on plain white 14 count, which I'm actually going to, I think I'm going to dye and kind of make it, because the brown will go dark and I think it'll be Hufflepuffy. So that's my plan for that. And then she also sent me this one, which I absolutely love. And I found a frame for it immediately and I framed it. I don't know what the designer is. It's got glass in it, so it's a bit glary. So I just loved it. Found this frame in Tiger. As you can see, it's not finished yet. I need to put some backing on it, but I'm thinking a point driver might be on my Christmas list. But I think it's brilliant, and it'll look fantastic on my wall, and it's nice to have something that somebody else has stitched. So that was my lovely parcel from Heather, and that was nearly my coffee across the table. Right. So I feel there should be more haul, but basically it's been frames. I didn't buy any. My stitch from stash for September was 0 because I kind of spent quite a bit at the end of August on like my ornament magazine and a couple of patterns that came right at the end of August, or beginning of, yeah, end of August, that's right, or things that came sort of the beginning of September. So although I'd paid for them all in August, there's been nothing, so yay go me. So let's start with the finishes. I'll try and remember what everything is and what it's stitched on. I think I know most of them. So I actually sewed the end up. You know, I sat with a basket and it took me a couple of hours to do all of it, and I did it over a couple of nights because I found a couple on the floor. But Buzzy string, Lizzie Kate, 18 count parchment in possibly called for, excuse me, Ontario, still a coughing bit. Anyway, okay. So Lizzie Kate Buzzy string, so this is the one I just needed to sew the end up on, which I did. I sat in front of the TV and all the things that just needed a little bit of stitching up, I did. I didn't want it to be overly stuffed, so, but I might do what Helen D has recently done with the bulb pins and just pop a couple of buttons or something, or a charm or something on it as well. But Buzzy string, Lizzie Kate on an 18 count parchment in probably the call for DMC. Let's see, I changed the flag to be UK. I was pretty proud of that. You saw Industry last time, and I said, oh, now I've got the cover buttons, so I'm going to cover button. I loved Amy's idea of the buckle, but couldn't find one that was small enough that would work, so I've just got some cover buttons. I'm going to put a couple of cover buttons on that. I think that will work nicely, and possibly a charm. I don't know, just some stuff. And the same with this one. I actually forgot this one. Oh, see, needs some ends clipping on it. I think I have not really worried too much about these because these are all my summer things. I might do some cover buttons for that. And I was at the point where I hadn't cut the backing fabric long enough, so I just joined it together. I was like, I don't care, it's fine, it's all going to be good. So there we go for that one. That's Beekeeper by Frosted Pumpkin. So my smalls from Owl Forest Embroidery is Pretty Pumpkins. It's a free design. So there we go with just some purple, orangey, rusty velvet. And then I kind of did these as shape. That one turned out better than that one. That one turned out better than that one. But they're fine for bowl fillers. Nobody's going to be looking too close. Whip stitch the bottom of that closed. I'm counting all these as finishes. I had a few scrappy bits of felt from where I cut the, I mean I've still got other left of this, but there were a couple of scraps, so I just kind of thought it matched the flower colour quite nicely and just kind of just put that on. Happy with that. Haven't done these two yet because I haven't decided on what colour I'm putting on top. Beehive ended up being smaller and I just kind of went, I think that'll work better. Again, I might just pop I've got loads of bee charms, so I'm thinking bee charms will be the way forward for some of these. Love is Kind, hands-on design. It's a bit wonky. Do I mind? No. That'll be cute in my Valentine's Eve display. Might put a little charm or something there. It just, or a bow or something. I think it still needs a little something, but yeah. So this is the Bee Pendeville by Doreen Jones, all stitched up. So if I just undo that. So that's kind of, so when I folded it up it was like that. with the back, and then you just pulled it tight. I mean, it's up to you how tight you have it, I guess. So there you go, that's what it looks like. Just tie a bow in it. This is some silk ribbon from Dinky Dyes that I was in a Biscorner swap I had. Which actually is one of those random things you kind of look at it and you go, how's that colour going to work? It's just not a. It worked with the Biscorner swap because it was the right. It worked with the colours that and everything. But you think pink and grey? Well, so I certainly think pink and grey. That's not colours I use very often, and I've used it on several things because it's been. I can't do that back up again. We'll do that another time. Yeah. So July buttons being sewn on. I just need to stick the sticky felt on the back of that. So that's that. So that was most of the soft finishes done. I've discovered, well, I work better kind of producing a production line, and I had a couple of hours spare one afternoon and went, okay, I'm going to spend 2 hours, let's see how many of these I could get done, and just sat there and shoved them all the things through the sewing machine, which worked really, really well. And then I put them all in a basket and said, okay, and then at another point when I've got, you know, in front of the TV kind of thing, I will sew them up. And Lottie was like, yeah, I can stuff it. Can I do some of the stuffing? Yes, you can. So she stuffed, I sewed, job's a good one. So that worked really, really well. And then that's kind of how I do, so next up I worked out what needed framing and cut stacks and stacks of mat board, foam core rather, and all the felt if I wanted to make them puffy pieces. So let me pull the chair out a bit. So I picked up loads of frames. I did find this frame because it was in my framing shop. I popped in to get some square frames, and it's just a tiny bit too small. So I'm actually seriously thinking, because I absolutely adore, this is Chessie Me, Let My Example Shine. I adore this piece, and I'm seriously thinking about getting it, having a custom frame done for it, because I think this is I need kind of a 4x9, 4x8.5 frame. So I'm actually thinking I might get a nice matte, maybe the green or the blue colour. I'll see what they've got, and just actually make a really nice framing job of it, because I do love it, and a smallish frame's not going to cost a lot. So that'll stay like that for now, just because it'll keep it clean. So one of the finishes I did have that I didn't show you was Blackbird Designs Blackbird. It's not the best framing job in the world. I'm seriously thinking, I mean, this really is a cheap frame, so but I'm thinking I might put some black lace across the bottom, some cotton lace. I looked in Hobbycraft last night, and the only cotton one they had was a really, really thick, like wide one, and it wasn't right. So I'm going to see if I can find just a thinner one. They had lots of thinner ones in beige and white and ecru and all those kind of colours, which would have been perfect, just the perfect fitness, not the right thickness, not the right colour, and dyeing things black is difficult, so I'll find the right thing. It's a strange size to frame, so I think the frame will be fine. I might move it up a little bit and then have that at the bottom, and then maybe find a bird charm or something a bit random just to put on there, I don't know. So its friend, so this was still on the same piece of fabric, even though I finished this a long time ago. This is Raven's Reply by Luminous Fibre. I love this. I'm actually happy with it. This fits the frame a lot better, so this was fine, this will stay. I mean, potentially I will move it up slightly and put some of the black if I find some, but they were the frames that I always intended for these, so that's fine. They just need sealing. So I picked up a couple of little box frames from Asda for the small weather bees, and this is exactly how I envisaged them, and they will, because weather bees is just there, they're going to go on the wall. Whoa, I'll get the back far enough, just about there. That's my plan. So just this very simple framing job on those. These were really good value frames, and they fit really nicely, and the backs are on nicely. So for £1.50 each. They were an absolute bargain. And I've used Asda frames before now, and they are very good. And I've heard other people say they recommend Asda for interviewing the UK for frames. Another one of my favourites, exactly how I envisaged it. I can't speak today. This is Just Nan Beehive Violets, just in a gold frame. And I did buy 2 of these frames because originally I thought, oh, I'm going to put these in them, and then thought a gold frame, well, that's in a black frame, gold frame might not look right. I've also got, I forget what it's called, I want to say that's a ladybug one maybe. So I'm tempted to, because I think it's about the same size, so it could finish them like that and they'll look really nice together. Okay, 2 to go out of the 20. I know, crazy, isn't it? I started getting the things ready for this, so I sat yesterday because if I knew if I didn't do it I just had to. So these are all the hexes. They're just a slightly textured fabric. It was in a charm pack that Sharon sent me, and I managed to get, I've got 4 of them, and I managed to get, and there were 7 colours, so be perfect. And I should just stitch them all together. I did the glue basting version because I've got the glue pens from my hexie quilt, so I just need to do, these weren't in the same room, so I need to get those done. And then I think this will be my Strictly Come Dancing project, and I shall try and sew 1 a week for the next 4 weeks is my plan, because actually it doesn't take that long to sew together. 2 to go. These are my absolute 2 favourite things. These are the ones I was most nervous about doing, but they turned out beyond my expectation. So thank you to, see, I'm just going to draw this out as long as I can. So this is what I used, this came in handy for. I raided my mum's art supplies and brought home some various colours of acrylic paint, and this was the wooden frame that was in the video, and I painted it for Jingle Jolly Joy. And this is exactly how I imagined it. I am beyond thrilled with it. It's framed up quite nicely. I'm just beyond thrilled with it. I used, I forget what colour paint it was. It's kind of a crimson red paint, and I popped a tiny bit of brown in with it as well, just to kind of bring the colour down a bit. And painted the frame. I think a Gate just handed it with 1 coat, so you know it does look a bit worn in a couple of places. It's a bit thinner. Painted, it's all painted on the edges, but not the back. So, and then waxed it with the finishing wax. I couldn't be happier with this. This is everything that I imagined it to be, and it's perfect, and I love it, and I can't wait to put it on Instagram today because absolutely perfect. Didn't frame them. Obviously, most of these weren't framed for the class just because I don't tend to. Plus, with the bulk of the chrome core and stuff, it doesn't always allow it for it. This one, if it wasn't on foam core, I could take the glass out and it would fit, but it might go in the kitchen. I don't know. That's why it's not on the done yet. So, last but no means by least is Tannenbaum. Yes, it's done, and here's my finish. So this is using April, May, June's FFO directions. There we go. To do the box, it's using a pouring art canvas. I don't know. It's supposed to be used that way. It's like pouring acrylics or whatever. I forget what it's called. From Hobbycraft, and some balsa wood doobrys. So they're all glued in with some wood glue, and then I painted it with some acrylic paint. So this was sand and an acrylic paint called sand, and what else? What other colour? A mixed. Can't remember. But this is kind of the colour that I'd had planned for it. Coughing fits, storage issues, children coming home from school. Let's try this. 3rd part. So I was waxing lyrical about Tannenbaum. This is by Brenda Gervais. In my own conversion, using April, May, June's directions on how to finish it if you're in the UK and can't get the box from Country Stitches. So I painted this in sand, and I think it was it was a black grey colour. I forget what it's called. It's got a proper, you know, acrylic name, but I thought it was. Anyway, so turned out exactly how I had imagined it. It was kind of the same colour as the Hessian paint that I talked about before. Then the pieces, they're not actually stuck in properly yet. They need a couple of corners, a little bit, you know. But I bought some felt to just stick behind them, just so words carry, just so I can finish it, just to make sure they're all nice and secure and keeps them tight. As you can see, this one's forward more than the others. That was just me just trying something out as to see what I like, but I might, because they've got the lip, get some small bits and pieces just to kind of go with them. But again, painted this with acrylic paint and then finished it with the wax. So super happy how it came out. I'm not scared of painting frames anymore, which is a wonderful thing. I'm going to put some, I wasn't sure whether the colour of this in the end was getting lost, because the threads stand up and the rest of it didn't. So I will get some greenery. My plan is picks in a kind of shape. So that's my plan for that. I'm really pleased with it. I think it turns out wonderfully. So all that's left to do in this epic long video is insert the video for the giveaway winners who won a needle minder from my shop, or the collection of things, because they're not all in the shop. But so the winners are going to go in here. So we're picking the winners for the needle minders. So I put the filter in for autumn, and there's the YouTube URL. We're gonna scroll up so we can actually see. Right, Joanne doesn't want one, so we're going to try another winner. She just wants to tell me about autumn. So who's going to be the first winner? Mel Patton. And pick another winner. Lynn Blackwood. So Mel and Lynn, I'll be in touch. Congratulations to Mel and to Lynn, well done. I'm not sure if I've got your emails. I must have. Send me an email. My email's in the description box below, and I will send you a picture with all the minders that I have, and you can just pick what you want, and I'll get that in the post to you. Get the whenever. Well, at some point shortly. So there we go. So I'm going to go and hand my phone to Toby for the third time, as he's got some big editing jobs to do today, unfortunately, between coughing and having to put together 4 videos. And I will see you all in 2 weeks' time. Next week will be the flip throughs of the two magazines. I also need to do a whip parade, because it's been a year. I mean, I kind of know my words carry. What's it called? Longest day it becomes a whip parade, but I'm excited to do a whip parade. Yeah, towards the end of the month. So until then, friends, take care. Have a great stitchy fortnight. Look after each other. Happy stitching. Bye bye.